Hello, my name is Giles Tillotson. I am the recently appointed Dean of the Sushant School of Liberal Arts here at Unsel University. I want to start by telling you a little about what liberal arts is, because it's a fairly new concept here in India. The idea of liberal arts, it's really not one subject, it's an approach to education. The idea is to cover a very broad range of subjects in a single three-year BA honours degree. So we cover a whole spectrum of things, from economics and business management through to the humanities, and the humanities includes things like history and literature and philosophy. But actually we have a special take on it here at Unsel University, because Unsel is already very well known for two of its much older, long-established schools which cover architecture and design. We thought that in delivering a liberal arts package, we should include in the humanities end of it a focus on the history of art, the history of design. And that's what makes it slightly different from liberal arts anywhere else. So, who would choose liberal arts? Why would you want to do a degree in liberal arts? Well, there are lots of different reasons why you might want to do it. For one thing, because it's got this very broad, particularly in the early stage of it, in the first 2 semesters, you do a little bit of everything. You get to find out really where your strengths are, rather than having to decide as a school leaver that you're going to be an economist or a person who does business management or someone who does literature. You get to do a whole range of things, you get to explore different subjects, and it's only in the 3rd semester onwards that you have to pick your major, that you get to be more of a specialist. Even then you can back up that major with a diversity of other courses. So it's a very flexible degree, and it particularly would appeal to people who, for example, don't really know where their strengths lie yet, which kind of subject they want to pursue at much greater length. It might also appeal to someone who knows where they want to go, but they think they need a broad and general education in order to get there. So suppose a student has already decided that she or he wants to go into commerce, into banking, into business management, for example, but they think, but I'm also quite interested in literature, or I'm quite interested in history as well. Here is a degree where you can continue to develop those personal interests, those background interests, if you like, which make you a more rounded person, which gives you other things to draw on in life as you go through life, as well as focusing on your career. So there are different kinds of people that it might appeal to, for perhaps slightly different kinds of reasons. That also leads to the question, what kind of qualifications do you need? Well, again, we're pretty flexible. There's no particular subject that you have to have done in 12th grade in order to get in. And our sole criterion for admission is your 12th grade marks. We may also interview you in order to see what kind of a person you are. We're looking for people who can think a little bit independently, who are articulate, who have broad range of interests. And so we might interview for that purpose, but we're not going to say you have to have a particular group of subjects at 12th grade in order to get in. The only thing is, I think if you wanted to do your major in economics, it might be a good idea if you had maths at 12th grade, but otherwise it doesn't really matter. As I've just mentioned, the only admissions procedure is 12th grade plus an interview. So the structure of the degree is like this. In the first 2 semesters, everybody does the compulsory core courses, and this introduces you to the whole range of topics that are covered in the degree. So everybody does a little bit of economics, a little bit of business management, a bit of maths for business, but they also do a little bit of history and literature and governance and politics, and some history of art, history of architecture, history of design. There are also seminar programs that go on at the same time, which kind of test your critical thinking. They're about being given a particular text to analyze and understand and discuss. And there are some more practical things where you might kind of do a little bit of practical art or dance or theatre or something like that. From the 3rd semester onwards, you choose a major. And you have to choose one of 4 majors. That is either economics or secondary business management. The 3rd path is history of art and architecture, and the 4th path is history of design. So then your major effort, the most of your attention, most of your time goes on that major, but you still have lots of other time as well, which goes on other courses, and they might be related to your major, or they could be something completely different. So again, it's a very flexible degree. It allows you to do a lot of different things in the course of your time here. Then finally, you need to think when you're choosing your degree, where's this leading? What does it qualify me to do? I mean, there's one question about how am I qualified to get into a degree program. What does it qualify me to go on to in the world of work? Well, again, the great thing about liberal arts is it qualifies you for practically anything. There are some people who will go into this degree knowing perhaps already that they want to go into business or into commerce, into banking. There might be other people who want to go into the civil service or into journalism, something perhaps more creative. Because it's such a broad degree, all of these topics, all of these career paths are open to you. Because what it really boils down to, the liberal arts, is it teaches you a single transferable skill, which is critical thinking. It teaches you to analyze and understand complex situations and to apply that understanding in the world of work. So there are lots of different kinds of employer who are looking for people with that skill. It's rarer than you might think. And that's what we're really seeking to develop in you as a student, as an individual. So, entirely open as far as career options are concerned. Many people might want to go on and do a further degree. Increasingly in India, actually, people do go on to do a master's degree, and we'll be developing in the course of the next couple of years a series of master's programs in liberal arts. But you could go on and you could perhaps do a master's in a more specified field, whether it be commerce or history or wherever you've decided that your interest lies. The liberal arts program would have given you the opportunity to discover where your skills and your interests really lie.